Hey guys, this is Vishal Kapoor, your friend in real estate, and what a wonderful day! We have a community coming together at Preserve, and today we have lots of entrepreneur in our team. And I put this invitation out there, and these are the ones who grab that invitation and show that courage to show up on my uh, show over here. So, without further ado, the whole agenda about this doing the meeting, we going to the unprecedented time, and businesses are suffering, and we're finding the different ways of doing business. The one thing which is at the basic is always work is at the connecting with people and networking. So I thought this would be a great platform because our group is grown. We have 800 people, and we can support each other. So let me start with my first guest, and he's a wonderful guy. It's not wonderful because his name is Vishal also, but he's a wonderful guy himself. So welcome, Vishal. How are you?
Very good, VK. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Yeah.
I think that's what we'll have to restrict to VK and VT just to differentiate. But thanks for having me here.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So Vishal, just introduce yourself, and then we can go from there.
Sure. I hope everybody who comes on board and listens, all your families are all safe in the community. I am an advisor with Sunlife Financial and been with the company for about 8 years now. Just want to make sure before I go any further, I want to mention that anything I say is purely my personal opinion and does not represent the opinion of my company. Yeah, I mean, in my line of work, I'll give you a brief introduction about myself. In my line of work, I and my team, we help people protect things that are most important for them. So for some, it could be protecting their life. For others, it could be protecting their health. For many, it could be either preserving or even building their wealth for their retirement or for their future generations. And most important aspect is that we strive to accomplish these objectives for our clients in the most tax efficient manner possible.
That's fantastic. And the one thing before your introduction to do in your personal, how long you're living in Preserve area?
I have been in Preserve for almost 8 years now.
8 years. Wow.
Yes.
A long time. I think that's how then I think the Preserve was born that time.
Indeed. There was nothing over here when I came in, and yeah, this is my second home.
Yeah.
I've always been a Oakville resident. My journey in Canada was in Oakville.
Perfect. And you always worked with the Sunlife Financial as an advisor?
This was my first career.
When this is your first career?
My career in this country, I joined Sunlife.
Oh, okay. So you've been how long? You at Sunlife?
8 years now.
8 years, yes. Fantastic. Okay.
Yeah.
I jump to my second question. I'll keep it concise. Why you do what you do?
It's definitely a financially rewarding career. I mean, I would not deny that. But having said that, the most important reason for which I am in this profession is the satisfaction you get when you deliver a claim check to either a client or their family. It's like when everybody else is bringing flowers and prayers, we are the only people in the room who are holding a check for the family, and the feeling that you're able to bring some comfort to the family, and just the fact that yes, everything will be okay. That's how they start thinking. I think that's the primary reason why this profession is so close to my heart.
Oh, that's wonderful because I think everybody love to get that the compensation or whatever they invested in, and that's why we do, right? So protect ourselves. So wonderful. So what problem you can solve for others?
Vishal, I'm a holistic advisor.
Okay.
Sunlife has that model that you cannot be focused on any one area. So as I mentioned earlier, helping people with their life, health, and wealth events. So I come across a lot of clients from different walks of life. For instance, some are just starting their journey in Canada. Some are concerned about preparing. They're purchasing their first home, so they're protecting the mortgage that's going to come their way. For some, it's about setting up a financial future for their children, and for many others, it could be about setting themselves up for retirement. Um, I mean, the biggest question actually that comes from retirees today is whether I'll outlive my money or will my money outlive me. So these are the few areas where I help. But most importantly, lately I've started to focus heavily on health,
Right.
having these health conversations with my clients, because especially when it's directly correlated with what I feel is the biggest asset for most of us. So if I were to ask you, you're in the real estate business. I'm sure we'll share the same opinion there, and most of us will do. Our homes end up being the biggest asset that we may have. When you look at it from an advisor's lens, it's always an individual's income earning potential. Because I'm able to earn a certain amount of income today, that gives me the ability to go out and buy a house, to dream of a better future for myself and my family, to prepare for my retirement, to fulfill all my goals. My vacations come from that. So everything revolves around my income. And I think in today's world, the biggest disruptor has become the healthcare events that are sort of coming in the way, and we end up compromising either temporarily or permanently our income earning potential because of a healthcare event, and especially with the COVID-19 situation that's coming up, or that has been there for the past couple of months.
Right.
Mm. These are a few areas where I help people solve their problems.
All right. Well, the one burning question is always happening with the entrepreneur, and during this time, again, how it's affected your business during this COVID-19.
There were a lot of hiccups because we did not have virtual capabilities set up. Our businesses have always been, I'm sure it goes for a lot of others, and including you. We've always been on the road. We've been meeting people, and that's how networking happens. We've been going to networking sessions and stuff like that. But this is a totally new style of operating. So 1 month was initially a big hiccup for us. How to get technology in place, how to get the compliance in place. But I think now it's pretty smooth, and more people are looking out for advisors because they are concerned about their financial future. They have not met an advisor in a very long time. Estate planning issues are coming into play. Taxation is coming into play. Again, more importantly, healthcare events are coming into play. What if I am disabled tomorrow and I'm not able to provide food for my family? So people are concerned about these things even more. I mean, I want to share one stat with you. It will just take a quick minute. I was doing some research last night. COVID-19 is a big thing right now globally, and it's the conversation that everybody is having.
Right.
You'd be surprised to know. Can you take a guess how many people are going to be diagnosed or expected to be diagnosed with cancer in the year 2020?
I have no idea.
That goes to about, in Canada, there are about over 200,000 people that are expected to be diagnosed with cancer.
Oh, wow.
And out of that, over 80,000 people are expected to die just in Canada because of cancer. I'm not even talking about any other health events.
Right,
So
right.
it is such a big issue. Like the stats, you can go on the Cancer Society website and you'll find it all there.
Right.
One in two Canadians are going to get cancer in their lifetime. That's the recent statistic. So that's been my focused area with my clients and potential prospects. So that people have been reaching out a lot on these kind of discussions.
Okay. Yeah. So you're doing the critical illness insurance and stuff like that.
There are several ways you can structure these concepts depending on what their priorities are. I mean, business
Right.
owners have different priorities as compared to somebody who's in a job and stuff like that. But
Perfect.
yeah, that's critical illness insurance being one of the concepts.
One of the concept. Okay. Yeah, I was reading it. Like the more thing, like critical insurance is more important than the life insurance, in my opinion.
Indeed.
But people have different opinion. Maybe they can learn, and when they don't know something about it, it's rather that get the information to the right person who knows about it, educate themselves, and then make a decision.
That's right.
Because that will help. So my question to you, and how other people can help you in the group and the preserve, because here we are to help each other, right? So how we can
Correct.
help you?
I feel we need to start by helping ourselves. So if there are people out there who'd be listening to this and watching this video, if you feel that you have a portfolio either in insurance or in investments or a combined portfolio of insurance and investments, and you haven't had it reviewed by an advisor and it's been more than 2 years, I would highly recommend that use this time and get it reviewed by your advisor. Or if you don't have one, give me a call. I'd be more than happy to do a complimentary review, because I come across several situations on a daily basis where people bought insurances about 10, 15 years back, and they haven't really looked at them again. They're moved on in their lives, their lifestyles have changed, kids have grown up,
Right.
uh, some have got separated. So a lot of situations come across that they bought multiple assets, their incomes have changed, their health has changed obviously over these years, but the financial portfolio still remains what they started 10, 15 years back. The
Right.
most important factor one needs to remember is, as your life evolves, your financial portfolio has to be equally dynamic, and it has to evolve with you. The beneficiary designations being one of the biggest issues. People pass away and they didn't even know who their beneficiaries were.
No, that's true. Like, in the estate planning is the other great area. I did the interview with the lawyer
Yes.
on the past week, and that's a burning issue as well. Well, we have other people to speak, so what I'm going to ask you, just provide your contact information so people can reach out to you, um,
Sure.
if that's okay, or they can email you, phone you. So please provide your contact information.
Sure. I think the best way to reach me is my direct line. That's my cell phone. I have it 24/7. I'm on 416 And they can call me and leave a voice message just in case I'm in a meeting, and I'd be more than happy to call them back.
Well, thank you, Vishal. I really appreciate that. And yes, even you have any questions, like, you don't want to go, if you just need the advice, I think Vishal will be happy to answer your questions. So set up the appointment right now, what you're doing. If you have a lot of time, instead of watching Netflix, connect with Vishal. Thank you.
Thank you, Vishal, for having me.
You're welcome. Now I get to our next guest, Vanisha Singh, social media manager. Find me lettering. I love that the line which you use for your company. Find me lettering.
So yes, thanks so much for having me this morning. I am Vanisha Singh, the owner of Find Me Lettering. I'm originally from South Africa and have been in Canada for 17 months now. And what I've done is I've taken my two passions, which is calligraphy and marketing, and I've combined them to form Find Me Lettering.
Nice. That's wonderful.
So yes.
So that's great. Like, I think, like, following your passion is one thing like we lack, and most of the time we look for the going for job or something just to be financial secure or feed a family, and we forget about passion. So it's good to see like somebody like you who's following your passion and also helping people. So that's fantastic. So my question to you is, why you do what you do?
So I do what I do is because I love doing it. I've worked in corporate for almost 10 years, and I felt in time that there was more opportunity to impact more lives than just a company alone. I've taken my social media management of my business side, and I've combined it with the calligraphy side, offering clients a variety of different needs. Especially in a time like now, especially during COVID, I found many clients reaching out, finding sort of short-term solutions, and I'm having to pull back and have to say, well, let's take a step back and understand what you do, and it's pure organic growth, and it's a more of a holistic approach that my skills have been able to come to the forefront.
That's wonderful to hear that. Like, that's why you do what you do, and what problem you can solve for others.
So currently, in my business, what I've done is I've taken an in-depth look into small companies, and I'm purely focused to small to medium businesses and startups. And what I've done is taken an in-depth look at the current target market, understanding who they're wanting to reach and how they plan on reaching it. And the first thing is through, obviously, a content calendar. We can have all the little sparkles as in a brand, a logo, a website, but if you don't have the right content to reach out to, your business is not going to thrive. So what I've done is create content calendars that people can purely focus on and actually stay within that lane, if I can say that. And the reason being is that instead of paying for advertising on social media, you can really reach your target market just by making small changes. And the one is through a content calendar.
Oh, that's wonderful to hear that, because myself, like, I follow social media, and I do understand, like, how important it is to be disciplined, how important it is to be like what content you're posting over there, because that's what uh, people going to look for, right? So
Absolutely.
that's wonderful to hear. Um, and I think, like, during this time over here, and just like Vishal mentioned before, that small businesses, entrepreneurs, like, people were not using the digital media as much before. They knew a little bit about it, but now they're getting familiar. And also, like, people with the store owners, like, who are not doing the online delivery, and they didn't have a social media presence. They are the one who taking time to establish themselves with the new normal. But I think, like, this is going to be new normal. uh, that's the saying. It was like, if you didn't have the web page, you're not in the business, kind of stuff. So I do understand, like, where you're coming from. Thank you for doing that. So uh, how others in the group can help you?
So I do believe that we can leverage off each other, especially each other's platforms.
Right.
Currently, right now, what I am seeing is everybody's, coming to the forefront and saying, "Well, I need to be impactful now. I need to do something right now. My business is, hurting because of COVID. What can I do right now?" Some businesses have taken the stance of, being right at the front and actually selling straight out,
Right.
and other businesses have actually taken a step back. And this is something that I am supportive in, as in use the time to actually, look at your brand, understand your target market, your audience, things that you would not normally get to do during normal business working hours. And so take the time out to actually just understand your brand and how it can empower people,
Yeah.
and how you can actually serve your community also.
Yeah.
So I think it's really important for people to actually understand that type of help, instead of just selling what I do, but also how I can actually help the community.
Oh, that's fantastic. And you said, like, the one thing which I like about that, even I ask you, like, how we can help you, you still are willing to help other people. And I think, like, that's a great concept, because when you're willing to help from your heart to other people, I say, like, a business comes. Business come by itself. You don't have to be those nasty salesperson
Oh
to
no.
go and get the business. So that's wonderful to hear, like, what you're doing, and how you're contributing to the community, and looking forward to hear more from you.
No,
um,
definitely.
how people can reach out to you? What's your contact information? And
So I have a website, that is findmelettering.com.
okay.
And my telephone number is 416-454-4688. And I have an Instagram handle, which is also at findmelettering, and a email address that can be found on my website too.
Fantastic, that's cool. So any kind of business can reach out to you, is that right?
Absolutely, yes,
All right.
absolutely. I've helped in the last few weeks. I've helped out bakers. I've helped out real estate agents here, fitness consultants who are, who have always had that face-to-face interaction,
Right.
and now they're having to take it virtually. So I've spanned across many organizations and industries.
Oh, that's wonderful to hear that. Thank you so much
Thank you so much for having me.
for
Appreciate
doing
it.
your contribution, and really nice to meet you as well.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to invite my next guest, Rose Ernjakovic. I never pronounce her last name. I don't ever try, because I will get in trouble. Uh, uh, just to let you know, guys, like, Rose and I, like, at the work together in the school council from the last couple years, and she is the woman behind. Like, she is not the one who come on the face. I'm the one who's always waving, "Hey, I'm here." She's not the one, but she do all the hard work behind the scenes, and she's the pretty good organizer. Like, we couldn't do those our wonderful pick events at Orinavi without her. and she has done the wonderful job. It's pleasure working with her all the time. And today, we're not going to talk about school or school counsel. We're going to talk about what she does. She's a financial advisor. And welcome, Rose.
Thank you, Vishal. That's very kind of you. All really nice words. I do want to say that PIC event is a big joy for me to work on. Hopefully, all of you, if you are have children that attend our school, have experienced it. Vishal and I have, as he said, worked on it for the last, I would say, 4 years for sure. And it is a pleasure and a joy to bring such an amazing thing to our community. There's a lot of learning. We have always provided the best we can in terms of speakers and knowledge. And we did have to cancel it this year, but we will be back on there if we are voted on to council again, doing it again. So please look out for that going forward. But yeah, today I'm here to talk to a little bit about what I do in my work. It is almost an echo of what Vishal T said, because we are in the same industry. Obviously there's a lot of advisors that are out there in the world to speak to and to choose. I guess the first thing that I would say is, Vishal seems like a wonderful man. And if I wasn't in the industry, I'd probably reach out to him for some information. So, I think that relationship is the key to who you choose to work with. And the knowledge that people can bring, the teams that they work with. These are all things that you'd want to investigate as you choose to work with an advisor. But I think our profession is a very noble one. I would say I heard you speak, and I do think we come from the same place. My goal is to help people and coach them in areas that they might not be very knowledgeable in. They might know some information about things, but as we all here on this group are probably experts in our field and in our businesses. Well, that's what we're just trying to put out there, is information and education in the hopes that we could serve and help someone that needs our services and our knowledge. So I guess I'd invite you to just keep an open mind. Certainly have a listen, and I guess the most important thing from a financial advisor standpoint is letting people know that we're out there and that we're just there to help and serve and provide information. So I think as an industry, what I want to say is that people should not be fearful, I guess, of taking those steps and meeting with someone, because you will definitely probably learn something, one or two things that you've not had a chance to learn prior to that conversation. So
it's always like the learning, and that's why I say make an informed decision by learning about if you don't know about it, rather than having a guess or perception or just heard from friend. That doesn't mean they are expert. Just hire the professional, and most of the professionals these days, they're providing you free advice or free information sessions where you can get all the information. So thank you for pointing that out. So why you do what you do?
Well, again, it echoes what I was just saying there. I mean, as a parent myself and as a community member, I just wanted to work in this field. I've been with my current company for a short time, but I've been in the industry for a number of years. And what came to me as a calling is providing that education. I have sort of a bit of a background in education. My previous job is in marketing. My previous job to this, I was looking at things at 60,000 feet and organizing large events for corporate clients.
Right.
And my role as a parent that I was blessed to have brought me down to that sort of micro sort of look at things. And because of that, I realized that I would like to make more of an impact on people's lives directly. And, finance has always been a field of mine that I was interested in. And so it came together that I would love to work in this field, and have enjoyed doing so since then. So.
No worries. That's wonderful. I know you do the wonderful job in organizing and stuff, and I can vouch for that. First-hand experience. So what problem you can solve for others?
Well, when you think about, I like to just say 3 quick things. I will help organize someone's financial life for them, get on track with what their goals and concerns are.
Mm-hmm.
I will help maximize tax strategies and look at ways to keep more of their money through efficiencies and utilizing different tax strategies.
Right.
And I will also help people protect their families and businesses. So if you think sort of simplistically, those are the problems that I can help solve. There's a lot of detail behind all that, but those are the three main areas you could say.
That's fantastic. I know, like, you summarize this pretty well. The last thing which I want to know, how the others in the group can help you, or the community can help you.
You know what? I as I said, I want to serve other people. So I think, just by speaking to people, like even in your just regular day, family, friends, talking about, how are things going right now? I mean, a lot of my recent discussions have been questions that people have. Sometimes things come up because they don't know some of the government services that are, government aid that's out there right now. If you find those conversations happening in your day-to-day, in your work, in your family exchanges, just throwing it out there, saying there's an individual I know within our group that could have that conversation with you, provide more information. So really, that's how you can help, is just having conversations with people you care and love. And then, certainly if you'd like, you can recommend that they have a chance to talk to me.
Oh, that's wonderful to hear that. And I'm pretty sure, like, we all of us got something to provide, and we all want to help. And most of the businesses, that's a mindset they're coming with these days, and which is wonderful. Just keeping the clients in, and how they can provide the value. And yeah, like, they have a choice. Just like right now we have a choice, like, where you go for, like, maybe you get some advice from one person and not from the other person. So who you interact with, who you gel with, like, that'll be great. Fantastic. So next person I want to go to is Sharmini over here. Sharmini, like, I know she you still do modeling, Sharmini, or
Sometimes it's obviously stopped now,
right?
but yeah, I do it once in a while. Yeah.
Welcome to the group, and
Thank you so much.
thank you for reaching out and want to be a part of this group. Really wonderful. So if you can introduce yourself, Sharmini, that'll be wonderful.
Sure. Hi, everybody. My name is Sharmini, and I've lived in Canada for almost 10 years. And I moved into Preserve area about a year and a half ago. So I'm relatively very new here in this neighborhood, but I love the neighborhood. I love the people. I'm so happy that I'm here. And so, when I saw this message from Vishal, I remember reaching out to him saying that I know everybody here is probably small business owners. I wouldn't even call myself a small business owner because I have a minuscule business. That's what I would call it, because I'm basically
I will say, like, you are a little giant.
Okay. Yeah, so how it all started was I started this Bollywood Dancercise, as I've labeled it. It's these classes for ladies of all age groups. And I've combined my passion for, I'm originally from India and I love Bollywood. So I've combined my passion for Bollywood dancing and my passion for exercise and fitness. So I've brought those two together to create this unique concept. I like to call it unique because I know that you do have similar offerings, from so many different institutions. But I feel the reason I like this more is because it's very personalized. And I started off with about 4 or 5 ladies attending the class way back in November. Not really way back, just about 6 months back. But what I started realizing is people liked it so much that it gradually grew to me conducting 4 classes a week of about 7 or 8 ladies each in each batch. And that's how it all started. And then, of course, we had COVID-19 and I had to stop conducting classes. But yeah, that's what I am all about. I'm here representing my Bollywood Dancercise classes, which is a combination of fitness and Bollywood dancing.
Well, you before I ask my second question, you already described it, like, why you do what you do, because you're passionate about dancing and you're passionate about your exercise, so which is fantastic. So what problem you can solve for others, like in this during this COVID-19, because right now they
So
cannot attend your studio.
yeah, they cannot attend the studio, of course. But so what happened, what I started realizing is that what started off as just a passionate thing for me, and actually it was a recommendation from some friends from Preserve who suggested that I start something of this sort.
Right.
But once I started it off, I could actually see the joy and the feeling of accomplishment on the faces of all these lovely ladies who used to attend my class. And when I'm talking about these ladies, it's women who are working, who are moms, who are running all kinds of chores throughout the day. So this was that 1 hour they would take out for themselves. So in my class, when they come, they would actually forget about everything. I've had ladies coming in, with bags full of groceries. I just decided to drop in, on the way from my groceries. I want to have this 1 hour for myself. So I mean, I used to encourage that. It was a good feeling. Sweat it out, dance, and it's Bollywood, so it's always fun.
Yeah.
So some of the ladies started missing it a lot, and they started reaching out to me saying that we really miss the classes. Can we have something online? And honestly, that was when I decided, let me try giving it a shot, and I started these classes online.
Oh, wonderful.
Yes, so now I am conducting these classes online on Zoom, and however, it doesn't really help everybody, and I do understand that there are some women who are still very passionate and who still come, and there are women I know who even forget the day and they come and the previous day to say, hey, why is the class? I said, it's not today, it's supposed to be tomorrow. They are that passionate, which is great. But I feel it's really even more important now because everyone's locked down at home. You can't go to gyms, you're not meeting people. And I personally feel there are days when it's gloomy and I don't do anything, I feel different. But on a day when I'm actually working out, dancing, listening to music, it just cheers me up. So I think this Bollywood Dancercise that I offer can actually be of great help to all women if they can spare that 1 hour a week.
Yeah.
And just try it out and see how they feel. It hopefully would make them feel good about themselves.
Well, that's wonderful, because like the one thing which I'm seeing common in all the places, like everybody in their house, they're doing a lot of home cooking and
Yes,
baking and this,
that's right.
and we're not working that much out. We're not moving that much, and I think like an exercise is the most important thing which we need to get it done more than ever, because we're not doing any physical activity. So that'll be wonderful. So I would, uh, men's are not allowed, but I believe like I love to watch that, like what you guys do, and I love myself like a Bollywood dance and stuff like that. But definitely for ladies, reach out to her. She's a wonderful person, and she did perform at one of the event which created last year actually. It was Holi for Indian Holi festival, and I can say like she was wonderful. So
Thank you.
thank you for doing that. So my last question to you is how we can help you, how the group can help you, how the community can help you.
To be honest, Vishal, I'm just happy to be here to be able to talk about my little passion, and I would be more than happy if everyone just spread the word out. And if people wanted to reach out to me, my phone number is 647-962-6394.
All right,
And yeah,
that's wonderful. So what platform you use for your videos? Like, are you
I'm
using
using
Zoom?
Zoom for
Are you
now.
using Zoom
Yes,
as well? Okay.
yes, yes.
Well, that's wonderful. Thank you so much for your contribution and really help. Uh, and definitely, I look forward to like more people will join, and probably we create the Preserve Bollywood group over here. Who
Thank you.
knows?
That would be nice.
Anyway, that's great. And now I want to bring out like somebody I didn't know. I met him like a couple of times, like, but I didn't know what he really does. But they say invention is the mother of necessity, and I think like that's what goes to Raja. I know he didn't put his name; he's just put his company's name, lanesopen.com. That's okay. And just Raja Matharu, he is the owner of lanesopen.com, and let him describe like what his company does and how he came out with this idea. Uh,
Yeah, thanks for having me, Vishal. Yeah, so I so name's Raja Matharu. I've been in the preserve for about 5 years now. Um, Living in Oakville since actually 2016. So 5 years in the preserve. But yeah, so how the whole concept of Lanes Open came about is I actually have there's three partners that I work with. Two of them are really good friends of mine, and one of the partners is our programmer, our IT guy. And early January we were actually creating a super app, almost like one app where you can get all your services. And it was something that was actually extremely difficult to do. And then back in January, we were also hearing rumblings about COVID. We didn't really understand the severity of COVID and what kind of impact it's going to have globally. And then in February, we kind of switched gears on the app and just started looking at individual services that we could, that we could kind of zone in on. And then when COVID kind of became more of a global pandemic, we thought, you know, grocery delivery is a thing that just made the most sense to us. And it's worked out well. So the whole concept of Lanes Open is, we're giving families and individuals, bachelors, bachelorettes, the opportunity to kind of buy back their time and spend time doing things that they love to do, and leave the grocery shopping to us. It actually COVID, in a really strange way, helped us launch our business, because it really put everybody on a level playing field. And yeah, we were able to launch fairly successfully, doing next day deliveries, sometimes same day delivery. Yeah, that's basically how the whole thing came about in a nutshell.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's wonderful. Like when I heard about that, I got like so excited to know. First I thought like if somebody is just started doing like make a quick bucks, who wants to make, and they started doing delivery. But when I look into your website and app and how you connected and how much work it's got involved behind the scene, it was wonderful to see.
yeah,
So why you do what you do? I think like you described a little bit, but you can enhance a little bit
yeah.
more.
We basically, I mean, again, it's really, with again, going back to the whole thing around COVID-19 and practicing social distancing. We thought that every time someone leaves their home, they they increase their exposure to
Yeah.
the disease. They're not able to practice social distancing in closed environments, right? Like shopping,
Hmm.
like grocery stores, and so on and so forth. So we have basically professional shoppers that are trained. So we've trained our shoppers to, disinfect carts, disinfect buggies, baskets, and then they use new masks and new gloves with every delivery.
Yeah.
Really, just keeping the community safe
Yeah.
and trying to contribute to help flatten out that number so businesses can come back online.
Yeah. So
Open.
what? Yeah. Sorry. Like, and I'm going to interrupt you and going to ask you one question, which is just coming because going to go
Yeah,
away from my mind.
yeah,
Is if you can explain how the process works.
yeah. Simply, very similar. If anyone's ever shopped online before, you go to lanesopen.com, you put in your postal code, and then you pick the store that you want to shop at, and you just start shopping. You basically pick the items that you want, add them to your cart. Once you're getting ready for your checkout, the system will ask you for additional information, so method of payment, so on and so forth. You pick your delivery time, and then a shopper will be dispatched. You can also communicate with the shopper live, so you can interact with your shopper. So if there's an item that cannot be picked because it's out of stock, then the shopper will reach out to you via text message or phone, and then you can communicate that way. Your groceries get picked and they get dropped off at your front door. If there's special instructions in terms of delivery, you have an opportunity to put that in there also.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah,
Like that's I think it's keeping away from a grocery store because even I don't want to, I have to go because of getting some essentials, right? especially the milk and bread in my house.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, so we do have a minimum. It's a minimum order of $50.
Right.
And you're absolutely right. Like, if you're just looking to pick up, a bag of milk and some bread, then obviously, it makes more sense to go out and do it.
Right.
But if you're doing a larger, if it's a much larger list that you're looking to purchase, then
Right.
service like Elaine's Open, Instacart is very similar. There's other services that are out there that I would say definitely take advantage of.
Yeah.
Because again, it frees up your time. 2 hours of your time that requires for you to go out, pick the groceries, bring them home, and so on
Yeah.
and so forth. You can use that time, spend it with the family, watch a movie, or whatever you need to do.
I think like that's the biggest problem you're solving for people right now is so they can stay safe.
Yeah.
You have all the things which you're doing to prevent your people when they're picking up. The one question which I have, which I never got the chance to ask you, is if I have to pick up the stuff from, let's say, from Walmart at the same time, I also need something what's not available there, but it's available at somewhere else,
Right.
nearby store. Can you do the multiple store shopping as well?
Yeah, it's a great question. When we launched the site, we had the ability to allow shoppers to shop at various stores, right? For that very reason.
Right.
We did turn that service off, and
Okay.
the main reason is because usually what ends up happening is when shoppers shop, let's say you want to shop at Fortino's as an
Right.
example, so you would do the bulk of your shopping at Fortino's. The few items that Fortino's would have that Costco may have,
Right.
and then you may only buy one or two items from Costco, but then the shopper has to wait in line for an hour,
Yeah.
2 items. So it just logistically and economically didn't make sense. Now, when the lineups do eventually die off and die down, and there's no more lineups, no more wait, then we'll turn that service back on where you can shop at multiple.
Now that totally makes sense. Like you
Yeah.
have to look into the economical viability as well. So my question to you is how we can help and how the community can help you.
Simply just spread the word. I mean, support us by, just visiting the site. Maybe place an order. Let us know, what's worked well or what doesn't work well.
Yeah.
Help us improve the service of our business and help us improve, the service to the community.
Right. That's wonderful. And I think just we have to go to online lanesopen.com. You don't have to call you or anything for that purpose, right?
Correct. That's right. So there's a WhatsApp button on the website. So if you need to directly message
Right.
us, you go through WhatsApp, and customer service is there to answer any of your questions.
Yeah.
Or I am in the Preserve group. I'm also in the Preserve WhatsApp group. So if
Yeah.
you need to reach out to me directly, a couple of people have. I'd be more than happy to answer questions or if there is an issue with something, get your problems resolved.
Right. But I think the really best way to do it, go from one channel. It's much easier for you to track, and it will make it easier for other people as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, thank you for doing that. That's a wonderful, wonderful concept, and I really loved it. I thought, why I not thought about that, but no, I'm not. I just focus on what I do, and but really appreciate that, what you're doing, and thank you for doing that.
And thank you guys for having me. I really appreciate it.
Fantastic. And last not the least, I know Lubna has to leave. I think some emergency came out maybe. When you're working from home, that's what happens, right? So most of the time. So without further ado, I want to introduce Alonso Mendezibal. Alonso Mendezibal, he is another Toastmaster, actually. That's my original introduction from him. But he is multi-talented. He is not only the account director for CJ Graphics, but is also a DJ, comedian, and above all, is a wonderful, wonderful person. So welcome, Alonso.
Thanks, Vishal. Thanks for the great introduction. How are you? How's everybody
fantastic.
doing? Good. So, as Vishal said, my name is Alonso. I work in the printing industry. I've been in the printing industry as my full-time career since my early 20s, so just over 20 years. I've been been working at a company called CJ Graphics for the past 4 years in Mississauga. It's one of the larger mid-size printing companies in North America, and we can do anything that's pretty much print related. So when it comes, we have from direct mailing, we have a direct mailing facility to specific programs and displays, and anything from really big stuff to really small stuff. We kind of do it all in house. So my expertise sort of uh, are spread out between all the print technologies and how to be able to do all the project management for my clients, as I get to work with uh, any size clients, from small to very large multinational ones. So that's one of the things I do, and I've been living on the Preserve since October. We just moved into a new house, and but we've been in Oakville for the past 6 years.
Welcome to our preserve area, which is wonderful. I know you're on the east side of the preserve, but I think like in North Oakville we start calling preserve. That's how we call it. Everybody know it's easier to pronounce because that's wonderful. So why you do what you do, Alonso?
So I started in the printing industry when I was 20 years old. My father was in the industry, and it was during that time where I was taking too much time off school after high school and trying to decide what to go to university to study. And the opportunity came up to take on a production coordinator role when I was in my early 20s, and they needed somebody that spoke Spanish as well, which I'm fluent in. So I took on the job, and then I stayed at that company for about 5 years, and I continued to go into marketing. So it just sort of became the focal point of everything I did, going around those skills I learned early that had to do with business and marketing and so on, always revolved into printing. So it's just how it evolved. And I had been out of the industry for a while. As you mentioned, I used to be a full-time DJ for quite a long time in Toronto, and music producer and all these event planner and stuff like that. But somehow everything always kept on bringing me back to the printing industry, and here I am, and that's why I do what I do. And it's a lot of fun to be able to help really professionals. So my job is not necessarily selling printing, is being able to build relationships where professionals like yourself or anybody else that's here or that are working in corporate are sort of entrusting me with their careers, essentially, because they all report to somebody, and if their projects go sideways, they're the ones that are at risk, right? So those relationships, really, my job is really relationship building and networking.
Yeah, no, that's wonderful, because networking. I know you're a people person. You always want to connect with people and love to talk and love to chat, and that's wonderful. The one thing which I wasn't sure before I met you, that because when you're talking about CG Graphics, such a big company, if people don't know, maybe you can describe later. But I thought like you're doing only the big companies, Nike and everything. But then I got surprised that when you told me that even smallest job you can do, and that's gave me the aha moment at that time. It's like that's wonderful. There's a company, because I dealt with as a realtor, I dealt with a printing company before. I've been in like a Staples. I used to work, and I know the printing business as well. And was it hard to do like the small job because of the cost involved, and the big job because it's different, and not everybody wants to do the small job. So it was wonderful to see that, like, how you're helping small businesses and all, and entrepreneurs as well with your company. So what problem you can solve for them?
For all the companies, a lot of times right now, as things are getting more competitive out there, and if small and larger corporations are challenged with the balance of their time, or their employees' time, or the buyer's time, versus how much they actually need to handle. Right now, all professionals are just as busy as you and I are, with social media and marketing and meetings and uh, doing all the other stuff. And where I really have noticed that I come into play is into taking a lot of the tasks that are associated with this portion of marketing, and completely taking them off the plate, right? So, for example, right now I was actually working on a project for Zara Canada, and they're starting to plan how they're going to come back. And one of the things I'm working with the buyer, as he's doing so many other things for the company because they're reduced staff and hours and everything, I'm helping him with all the requirements that we're offering that he could use and putting it together in a list, and it's almost a consulting work, if you will. So I really take that off the plate for clients a lot, and sometimes I do get into the creative aspect of things in terms of how best to their message is being, or their brand is being conveyed into by using the different substrates or different methods that we have, right?
Yeah.
That my knowledge goes into, as well as doing all the practical stuff from packaging, fulfillment, kitting, things that we do glue tabbing of credit cards onto forms that get mailed out, and
right.
all those things that can be really time consuming for small business owners, for example, right?
Yeah.
That kind of stuff is what we do. So that's sort of how we help out, and also with budgets.
Fantastic. I know, probably their business model and the approach or the processes might have changed during this COVID-19. I know the small businesses are not struggling the big time in all that one. They cannot go and pick up stuff to delivery, getting the specifications. I know using the electronic media way before even when it started. I think you're more comfortable in doing that kind of stuff because you were already doing, I believe, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
So
and I mean, and it's great. Like right now, we're definitely seeing that there is a really big benefit for people, for business owners, small, medium, large, to really partner off with. I guess my advice is with find the people that really have the expertise, because there are always details that will catch you off guard,
right.
And will cost you more money down the future, right? So sometimes when you're partnering up, like you said, you have the perception of, this company too big for me to actually do a job with them, and it's just intimidating. I'm not going to be able to afford it. It's a waste of my time. A lot of times there are other reasons behind it. So, for example, all the plexi stuff that's going on right now for retailers, to cover up cash registers and so on. There's people that are charging way too much money, or they're using the cheaper quantity that just cracks or scratches really fast, and because they're being able to source out acrylics from certain manufacturers, but the end consumer like you and everybody else don't really need care or know these details, and next thing you know, in a month from now, you're going to have to be replacing everything that you did, and it's going to cost you twice as much.
That's right. Yeah, the things are changing so fast.
Yeah, so those expertise are really invaluable, and that's kind of what we bring to the table, or I bring to the table at least. So
perfect. That's good. I know we are running a schedule for an hour, 10 minutes, but that's okay, because here we are, we're talking and we're describing, so I didn't put the time limit on them. My question to you, how we can help you, how others can help you in the group, in the community?
Well, thank you. I mean, this is great help just on its own that you invited me to this meeting. I really, really appreciate it, and I hope to be able to partake more things in the community, as I'm new in the area, and it's always fun to know our neighbors, and especially on a professional level, right?
Right.
So in terms of helping out, really, if anybody has any questions or anybody needs anything in terms of printing and how it can help them, just reach out and ask away. I'm here to help. And it's like you said, is when things are done from the heart and because you enjoy it, the business just follows. And I strongly believe that as well. So
fantastic. So what's your contact information where we can reach out to you?
Absolutely. I'll send it out in the chat afterwards, but my cell phone number is 647-886-8676. But I'll send my email and stuff out in the chat, Vishal. And please feel free to reach out with anything, guys. I'm here on Harding Mill Trail, so I'm working from home.
Well, that's wonderful. We all working from home. I just like open up, like to want to say like their closing comments from each of you. Like, and I hope your families are safe. It's one message if you want to give to people in the community, what that is. Vishal, I can start with you, going to round table.
No, right now the most important message is just stay inside and stay safe, and take care of each other, and hope ends for all of us, and we're able to move out freely. That's pretty much it. Thank you for your time, guys.
You're welcome, Vanisha.
I think for me, it's just concentrate on yourself, concentrate on what you're currently doing and what you wanting to do. Post COVID, it is important, and stay within your own mind. So be with yourself. It's good. So yes, thank you to all of you, and especially yourself, Vishal.
Thank you so much, and Sharmini.
Sorry, I was on mute. So my message would be just, of course, try stay safe, try stay healthy, but more importantly, try and stay happy as much as you can. I think it's very hard given the times we are in. It's very easy when you keep hearing the news, and sometimes the news is not so good, and it can tend to make us feel really gloomy. But I would say try your best to stay as positive as you can.
Thank you so much. And Rose, sorry I didn't forget you. I skipped the number, but I didn't forget about you. Go ahead.
Yeah,
So,
no,
what your message?
Yeah, I'm echoing what everyone's saying. I mean, stay safe, stay healthy, your family, your loved ones, but don't stay fearful. I mean, learn, participate in things like this that you're invited to. Share what you're doing, which will also help others. And just be connected with people, whatever way you can, because that's the best way for all of us to keep our mental health and keep conversations going. Reach out to people, make sure they know that you're there to talk to and share information that you have of business or other things. So I think that's the big thing. I know we're all mandated to stay inside, but we can still communicate and share with each other. So I think that's important. And thank you very much for Vishal and everyone for participating and sharing today. I learned a lot. So thank you.
No, thank you, Rose. Like, that's a great message, and I think like that's what we want to do is stay positive, and that's the only thing which we could do at this moment. Roger.
Yeah, same thing here. I'm just gonna, really just echoing, off of Rose and what everyone else has said so far. I guess the number one thing is for everyone to stay safe. We're all supposed to stay indoors, but also try and get outside every once in a while. Get some sun.
Yeah.
And more importantly, I think above all else is make sure you have keep some time for yourself as well. I know we're all in the house with family members, and sometimes it can get a little stressful during the day.
Yeah.
So just remember to take some time out for yourself and to decompress, however that may be it exercising, maybe walking the neighborhood, or
keeping it socially distanced, definitely, but be safe.
Yeah.
Thank you, Raja.
Thank you for the invite and allowing us the opportunity for this platform.
Alonso.
Yes, sir. So yeah, same thing. I think everybody just is doing it pretty great around here, and just make sure that you're staying safe and healthy and taking care and going the extra mile for the people that are the most vulnerable. And this is really a great time to. I keep reminding myself every morning when I get up that, as stressful as the times are, it's really a great opportunity to reassure in business the people that I deal with that I am their choice of I have their choice of expertise for what I do for a living, so that coming out at the other side, I will remain top of mind. And it's also a really good opportunity to have all this extra time that I've always wanted to learn new things and get in touch with my old passions like music and so on, which I hadn't done in years. And I'm having a blast doing it. Usually I'm complaining that the weekends are too short, and now it's like one long weekend that's lasted 4 weeks. So, it's always a silver lining in it.
Oh, that's wonderful.
I just want to say through Alonso, probably we can have a DJ party through Zoom one of these days.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely.
I like that idea. Like, we can do the Zoom DJ party for the
Oh, we
community.
should totally do a preserve party.
Yeah,
Party.
that'd be
Absolutely.
great. They took out that feature, like, you can just do, but I think you can do the live on Facebook group, and
Yeah.
then we all will join. That'll be great, and maybe Sharmani can put the another video on the side by side live with Bollywood dancing. So that'll be that'd be wonderful. Well,
Absolutely.
I know, like, that's the one thing I forgot myself is introduce myself, as well as, like, another thing, what I do and why I do it. So I think that that's okay, because introduction to me is like, I love people. I love interacting with people, and that's why the reason, like, what one thing happened. The reason I do what I do is helping others. Uh, what being taught, like, it's and I've been be from the very childhood, like, I love uh, going out and doing it. For me, like, it was like in the lockdown, like, this is a big deal, because I cannot go and cannot meet people and things. So, but there's always a way. I adopt this, which I was already doing it, like, and communicating a lot of you guys through my videos and stuff like that. And I believe in it, providing the value to people, which I think uh, I I I don't mind, like, because I don't want to be sold, so I don't want to sell someone, and that's why, like, approach is like, if I can provide the value and people see the value, they will approach me and they will need my services. So that's why I do. And what problem I can solve for others, like, I think, like, I can solve, like, a lot of problems, because uh, I gone through all those stuff, and also I have the resource of people like you guys, who contributed over here with your knowledge, and I recycle knowledge. I connect with people, and because I recycle knowledge, I grab that knowledge as well. And they say, like, when you're teaching, you learn more. So that's how I do. Like, I teach people, at the same time I learn, because in order to teach, you have to learn. So I have no choice. So that's the concept I use in my business. And frankly speaking, like, my business worked pretty well. Last year, but did the best year ever in last 8 years. I started part time, but then from last 5 years, and I got full time in this business, and really enjoying it. How others can help me? Well, the only thing you can do, like, help these people over here, and help the community. Uh, so that's how you can help me, because if you're going to thrive, you're going to do. The one question people keep on asking me is, the real estate business is still going on. What's going on in the real estate market? So just take a few seconds. Still going on. Everything is happening. The virtual showings, no contacts, visit to the property, virtual home inspection, um, electronics, digital signing. That's all happening. Virtual staging and happening. Everything is happening virtually. So business is going on, and we remain as a essential services, because a lot of people, they have to do it. Some people have sold their houses, they have to buy the new one. They have to move from their houses. People who are renting, and they have to move out. I know, like, other people get all that, like, everything is on halt, but no, the businesses keep on going and business working. And so do y'all. Like, the work goes on. We just have to adapt the new normal. And people who adapt early, like, how to do things, those are the people who's going to succeed, and those are the people who's going to survive, in my opinion. So keep on learning new things, keep on doing the good work out there, stay positive, and encourage somebody else. Like, we always look into ourselves, like, I'm feeling down and everything, but what I felt when I bring smile to somebody else's face, or I talk to them or listen to them, I feel better for myself. I feel like more satisfied. So I think, like, that's the thing. I'll encourage you guys to do it. And thank you all over here. Thank you, Vishal. Thank you, Rose. Thank you, Sharmini, Alonso, Vanisha, Raja. Thank you for joining us today. And this is a start. And I encourage, like, in the next time when I do it, the one question I'm going to ask: did you guys like this? And do you want to do it more like this?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay. So we'll do that.
Just
Without further ado, I just want to end this meeting and thank you again, everyone. I'm going to recorded this one over here, post it on in the group, as well as I'll send you the link as well with your. I'll do some editing, so put your contact information so people can reach out to you. And highly encourage you to share in your social media with your network and all, so we can all help each other.
Thank you, Vishal.
Thank you.
Thank you, Vishal.
Thank you very much,
wonderful day,
Vishal and
guys.
everyone.
You too.
Bye for now.
Thank you.
Bye.
Take care.
Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.